Law this week, and with us to talk about this is the governor's right-hand woman, Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman, and on the other side of the fence, Republican House Minority Leader Larry Cafero. And folks, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
And Governor, I'll begin with you. When your neighbors come up to you this weekend over the fence and they say, so what exactly does this mean for me? Are my taxes going up? What do you tell them?
You know, everybody's taxes are going to go up a little bit. Or a lot, depending upon how much money you make. But you know what we've done is turn this around. We've tried to turn the state around so that we have an honest budget that's coming forward. We know that we walked in with a $3.5 billion deficit. We handled it the way that we put out a plan that talked about sharing the sacrifices that we had to do, but at the same time, we see this as a road to real recovery for us and for the state of Connecticut. No gimmicks, no borrowing, actual cuts in the budget, and actual, yes, there are tax expenditures. But that's, we didn't like that. Nobody likes this budget. The governor, I don't like the budget, but it's the right way to bring the state back to where it should be.
And when your neighbors in Norwalk come up to you this Saturday and say, Larry, can we stop this? Can we change it? What do you tell them?
Well, it's funny. I tell them, first of all, I explain to them exactly what we did. And with due respect to the governor, who was a dear friend and I have enormous respect for, we see it a little differently. Because, yes, they did raise taxes. Not a little, a lot. $1.8 billion, the largest tax increase in the history of the state of Connecticut. And, when we talk about cuts, as has been very widely reported and is fact, we actually didn't cut spending. We increased spending from where we were last year. Yeah, we talk about current services and hospital tax. The fact of the matter is last year, this current year, we spent $19.3 billion. Under the governor's budget, we spent almost 9 in the first year and 20.2 in the second. When taxes are when spending is going up, and you say you got to share the sacrifice, and every single tax you could think of, Dennis, is going up. Your income tax, reducing your property tax credit, everything you buy, state tax is going up, tax on things we never paid tax on before, whether it's a 6-pack of beer, a pack of cigarettes. People are saying, hey, you know what, that's not fair. We've sacrificed enough, enough is enough. And that's what I'm hearing over my fence.
The argument is being out there that some folks are going to move their businesses out of the state because it's too expensive. Does this actually make the state more business friendly with taxes going up? I think it does, and I think we've changed some things around in the state. And, we've changed the way we do have DECD, our Department of Economic Development. We are really funneling right to so that we can help businesses come into the state. We have kept property taxes down for these people. We have now, the governor has offered a new program that's called First 5 that says if you bring in 200 new employees into your business, we will do everything to help your incentives. We are working to see what we can do to help with health care. You know what? We have to, one of the good things that we're doing in the state is we're rebuilding the state. You can't work on the fact that we have the highest in the country, almost the highest in the country, unfunded liabilities, that we have no rainy day fund left, that we did budgets for years and years that played gimmicks, and that we borrowed for our ongoing expenses. You can't do that anymore. If we want to make business open to the state, open our state to business, we've got to show them that we know how to run state government. And I think we've done that. And you think they're going to leave, right? A lot of companies will.
Well, I don't have to think it. They are leaving. We are rated one of the least business-friendly states in the United States of America. Ironically, just a week before the budget was passed, UTC and their subsidiary, Hamilton Sundstrand, announced the departure of 200 jobs. We're hearing more and more very serious rumors about UBS down in Stanford taking 1,000 people out. And especially, they're not going to Tennessee or to South Carolina. They're going to Manhattan, Dennis. When Manhattan is price competitive with Connecticut, you're doing something wrong. And that's the situation we're in.
What about these concessions? A lot of folks wanted to see the union workers take concessions. We're not there yet, right? That's not.
We're almost there. We really believe that we're pretty close. We're scared. We're scared. We think we're closer, and we hope that by the end of next weekend this weekend we'll figure out what we've seen. As you know, on Friday we sent out 100 layoff notices. We know that if we don't get to this
that we're going to talk about over 4,000 layoffs. That way it's going to be pretty ugly, the Plan B. We're really working at it, and the unions are at the table. And so the good news is we're still discussing it.
Do you think it's enough? That this will happen, these $2 billion?
I'm very, I supported the governor when he came out with his plan. I think he was courageous to do so, and I have confidence he's going to get to where he has to be with regard to that number.
This is pretty much a Democratic budget, Democratic majority in the
pretty much,
legislature.
exclusively.
Democratic governor. Do you think, if it's so bad, do you see this Republican tide in the state?
I'm not sure about tide. Nothing get corny about it, and I'm not going to pretend that we don't care about elections, but it's a little too early to worry about that. What we're worried about is the state. And, I had, with due respect, I have enormous respect for our governor, and certainly Lieutenant Governor. And I was disappointed because, I remember him saying on the opening day, there's no Republican ideas or Democratic ideas, there's only good ideas. And when he came out with his budget where he did, he admitted, I have no expectations that Republicans would support it. That's not a good way to start, and that's the way we started. So it is a Democratic budget.
Governor Wyman, on an emotional level, you said you don't like the budget, the governor doesn't like the budget. How tough has this been? What are your nights like?
And very tough.
Are they sleepless?
Yeah, in many ways. We make jokes about the fact that we sat around and did the budget in my office, and we sat around with Diet Coke and pretzels. But as it got closer and closer, that was Tums and Advil for the headaches. It's very, very tough. It's tough making the cuts to the programs that we know can hurt people. It's tough having to say that we have to go in there and raise taxes. But we really believe that this is the only honest way, and the governor has said that he was going to be honest about it, that you can't cut your way out of this, and you're not going to borrow your way out of it, and you're sure as heck not going to tax your way out of it. So we came up with a plan, and it's basically said we're going to do we have to do some cuts, and we did do that. We have $1.7 billion in cuts. We have $1.5 billion in tax increases. We are going, we're trying the best to do what we need to do for the state and turn it around.
Lieutenant Governor Nancy Wyman and House Minority Leader Larry Cafero, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll have you on again during this process.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.